Lesson 93, the dative case. Lisa, in the last lesson, we talked about indirect objects. And the way I always define an indirect object is that the indirect object is the party who is receiving or benefiting in a sentence.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to see it.
And so in German, we have a whole case dedicated to this kind of noun use. We call it the dative case. And as we show you a declension chart here with the different forms of the definite article, you'll notice that we have labeled there on the left, we have dative, and then under that we have indirect object to remind you that that's the use of the dative case.
And you will notice that the definite article actually changes quite a lot for the dative case. It's not like before where nominative and accusative had a lot of similarities. Here you want to change each and every one of them.
So when we see these definite articles in a sentence, we can immediately recognize that that's dative.
Right.
By the way, Lisa, what do you think of my fabulous graphics here with the circles and dotted lines?
I think it's a nice overview. So you see that there's some of the articles that are double again.
So for example, the masculine singular nominative form, der, looks like the feminine dative singular, right?
Right. And the accusative masculine singular, den, looks like the plural dative, den.
They could have made each form different so it would be easier to learn, right?
Right, that would have been nice.
Is there someone I can write a letter to get them to change this?
I don't know who you would address it to.
Maybe I'll write a strongly worded email demanding that they change these definite articles.
The whole population of Germany learns German anew and changes their ways.
Exactly, just to make it easier for me.
Of course.
So, all joking aside, this is an example of why it is so important to know the gender of nouns, right, Lisa? Because if you see der with a masculine noun, you'll know it's nominative, but if you see der with a feminine noun, you'll know it's dative.
Right.
So you need to know the gender of the nouns, right?
Yes, this is where it really comes in handy if you studied your nouns well and you know already off the top of your head if it's a masculine or a feminine noun.
So if you have memorized your nouns along with the definite article, here's where that can really start to pay off because it's going to increase your reading comprehension. As you see these different case forms of the definite article, you'll be able to recognize them and know what they mean. And Lisa, we also have new forms in the dative case for our ein words, right?
Right.
We get the letter M in the masculine singular and neuter singular, right?
Right, just like with the definite article. Dem, meinem.
So if you see dem and meinem, that's a big clue that you're working with the dative case.